Working is hard, especially in mental health. What if I told you there's a quick, free way to improve your mood, perspective, clarity, and even your pain tolerance? Not that therapy is painful, but if you had a headache, this would help. I'm Dr. Beachkofsky, your friendly online psychiatrist. And today, Brain Bites is all about the psychophysiological benefits of laughter. Let's dig in. Do you remember Mad Libs? I mean, they're still around now, so maybe you don't have to work too hard on this. I remember them most clearly from elementary school in the 80s. We'd gather at recess and take turns filling in blanks between uncontrollable fits of laughter. Once we figured out all the parts of speech really well, adverbs end in ly, our imaginations were the only things holding us back from the hilarity. The weirder or grosser, the better. There was one time at a sleepover where we all took turns coming up with the strangest, most obscure words we could think of. As fourth graders, I don't remember thinking there was anything amazing about our vocabulary, but my best friend at the time picked puce as a color. It's kind of a brownish, purplish, like mauve, which I still snicker about when I hear the word now. Not because puce is a funny color, of course, but because it brings me back to being a goofy 9-year-old when just about anything could be funny if it was alongside a bodily function. Fart noises, anyone? Or an almost bad word, usually crap. It's definitely a trend here. There is something magical about making choices that lead to something surprising and delightful, or just plain hilarious. There were even choose-your-own-adventure books. Good, but not based in personal creativity, just choosing do this or that. And in our lives, we make choices all the time, but many of them have potential consequences, and that doesn't feel very fun or freeing. But choosing words, filling in the blank of a story with whatever you wanted with no negative repercussions? Baseballs. The stuff legends are made of. Thank you, Mad Libs. My childhood would have been lacking some luster without you tucked away in my Trapper Keeper. Yet here I am again in the throes of nouns like poop and body parts like intestines because I take my parental duties sort of seriously, which means my kids have Mad Libs everywhere. Their rooms with camping stuff, crafts, and most importantly, shoved in the seat pockets of my Subaru. Because kids may be addicted to screens, but some good old-fashioned fill-in-the-blanks can drag any car ride from boring to not so bad, as long as you don't mind kids screeching with joy from the backseat. And that's the essence of what I'm doing here, bringing a little brain break to your day with, hopefully, some laughter. Why should that matter? I'm so glad you asked. Laughter is the best medicine. Well, sometimes. I mean, I have some people that might need a prescription for laughter and Prozac, and I still think that's pretty great. Let me list out some of the ways that we know laughter is amazing for your brain and body, starting with endorphins, feel-good chemicals. Some of them work at opioid receptors, and people with a good fit of laughter have been shown to tolerate 15% more pain than without the giggles. I'm not saying our therapy is painful, but sometimes it's hard. So tolerating it better with more resilience? Better for all involved. How about the oxytocin it releases? We don't do therapy alone in a vacuum, although maybe alone in a room talking to a computer screen. This chemical can increase our social abilities, improving interpersonal connections. How would that not be more helpful in your therapeutic work? Increases in dopamine and serotonin? The good news just doesn't stop. I mean, maybe not to the sustained levels of Zoloft or Wellbutrin, but still, if I could eat a sad donut or laugh my face off at something hilarious, I choose the funnier, calorie-free version. Following a fit of giggles, you're more likely to come back to a task. Like what? How about therapy? With more clarity and creativity. 2 states that I could always use more of. But what about you? Are you all topped off? Yeah, that's what I thought. Come laugh with me. And let's not forget your bodily benefits that actually have nothing to do with poop. There's the decrease in blood pressure and heart rate and improved oxygenation after all those deep belly laughs sucking in all that air. Really good stuff. But there's more. There's even evidence that shows laughter can be anti-inflammatory. As good as a Motrin? Probably not, unless you're ready for 4 to 6 hours of steady guffaws. But still, who wouldn't want a little less inflammation? Hand raised. Over here. The cortisol that so often finds itself coursing through your arteries? Not so much anymore. Laughter is touted to decrease this too ubiquitous hormone that seems to mostly just wreak havoc, especially on constantly stressed therapists. Can you relate? I mean, that's a pretty amazing list, right? I don't even need your validation here because I know it's great. We all know it's great. But do we do it? I laugh an average of 0 times during my workday. Well, that's not entirely true. Sometimes I share a laugh with a patient, which can be fabulous. I'm sure you appreciate that laughter can be contagious, right? One person's giggles can draw other people in and provoke the giggles in them too. There's some research that suggests this humor response served an evolutionary purpose too. Laughing together was a way for our early ancestors who weren't related to each other to still feel connected and cooperative. I've mentioned using laughter here as more of a treatment, but it can be used preventatively as well. Kind of like building up resilience for when you may really need it. Tough clinic day, processing trauma, boring CEUs to get through. Lean on something humorous beforehand and reap the same benefits I mentioned before, but before you get to the stressed out stage. We all have the gift of laughter baked into us. Infants will start as early as 4 months old when they're tickled. Who doesn't love the sound of that? Laughter is the human music of people being able to enjoy their true selves. As a prescriber, I am thrilled to share that this complementary or alternative therapy is being used more frequently in the medical setting and now has more actual scientific data to back up its importance and value. It's almost universally well tolerated, except in recent abdominal surgery or glaucoma, with limited side effects. Peeing your pants or flushing red in the face? And 0 interactions when used with other medications. Improve your future outlook with a fresh perspective after a few deeply felt chuckles. This is a safe and healthy way to improve personal health and well-being, build stronger connections to others, and stay motivated and focused during your busy, fast-paced life. So since we can't always laugh with, and certainly never at, the people we work with, it's our job to take time to laugh. Take it seriously and make it easy. The benefits will be tremendous. Sometimes laughter really is the best medicine, and it doesn't even need a prescription. May you go forth and laugh heartily. This is where the science part of my talk ends, and I start with something else that's just for fun. Enter thera-blanks. Because I was feeling creative and a little silly, I took the time to figure out the tech behind making a digital Mad Libs style story geared towards mental health professionals. I mean, they'd probably be funny for anyone, but I'm working on a theme here. Psychiatrist, therapist, psych meds, it's a whole thing. So I want you to play along, and I want you to share. And you can go through it as many times as you want, because once you get the hang of the blanks in the story, you can see ways to tweak it and raise the hilarity. And seriously, share them. I read a test from a colleague and was totally laughing out loud alone in my dark living room at 10:17 p.m. Just me and my iPad and some seriously funny thera-blanks. Eons. That's all I have to say. Eons. What a great choice. There's a disclaimer too, because, here it is. This is a fill-in-the-blank story I created for fun. I love being a psychiatrist, taking care of patients and teaching. This is to keep things light because working in mental health can be hard. This is in no way intended to be hurtful or to make fun of something very serious like mental illness or treatment. But it is intended to be a brief break coming from a light and silly space. Sometimes laughter is the best medicine. If this isn't a good fit for you, please don't play and reach out to me with concerns so I can try to make it better. You can just email me at drb@brainbites with Dr. B. But seriousness aside, I only did this for fun. I can use more of that in my life and practice, and maybe you could too. Unfortunately, the tech is not perfect all the time, so work with me here. If you don't get your story in a few minutes, send me a message and let me know, because maybe I screwed something up and that would suck, but I can fix it. Probably. I've never done anything like this before, and I'd love to know what you think. I have some other story ideas if you like this one. Please let me know. So maybe it'll become more of a regular thing. May you go forth and laugh heartily. This has been Brain Bites with me, Dr. B. Excited about filling out your own story? Go to brainbiteswithdrb.com/thera-blanks and click the button to play. Looking for more tasty tidbits? Check out these videos next. Click subscribe so you don't go hungry for interesting psych stuff. Enjoy.